Thank you guys for coming back. My name is Jay Amber. As you can see in the video title, I have created a goal list that I'm going to be tracking using the 12-week year system as well as Notion. And I would really love for you guys to come along with me on this journey, partly for accountability, but also maybe to create some community around just, building, growing, changing, becoming a better version of yourself, all the things, right? But yeah, so let's get into the video. So I don't typically set goals in January, right? This just so happens to kind of be when I am doing them because I've had a lot of things in my life. I was gonna say disappear or change. That's what I want to say. I've had a lot of things in my life change in the last 365 days, specifically within the time frame of 2025. And I feel like I'm at this fresh new slate, and I am just well, now what do I want? I have the opportunity to kind of create a brand new life, and what do I want that new life to look like, right? So like I said, typically I set goals around my birthday because I find my birthday, I think everyone should set goals around their birthday and let that be their new year because that's when they came into existence. And I probably will, come time my birthday this year, redo my goals or update my goals if I've met or achieved some of the things I have already listed here. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing this video to document the goals I have for myself this year, and I'm going to do it's a series of videos just kind of going through my process of how I plan on achieving those goals. I am a type A personality, but I feel like life, God, whoever is looking for me to kind of look at life from a different perspective. Whenever I make goals, I typically use the 12-week year system. I don't remember the name of the author, but I'm going to put it here, the book that I got that system from, and I found it to be extremely helpful because the idea is that people make plans for the year like I'm doing right now, but they waste a good portion of the year because they say or think in their mind, I have all year, right? But when you break your year down into a 12-week system and you set certain goals within that time frame, you're more likely to look at them every day, get them done, or do a little something towards that goal every single day. And obviously depending on the type of goal and how long things just take in general. I could say I'm making a 12-week year, but it really could just take me 365 days to complete something because that's how long it takes. But otherwise, I find that it's a very, very helpful system. So I'm going to just list out my goals here for the year, the 365-day year. And then in my next video, I will break down which goals are going to go into what 12-week system, partly because I haven't quite yet decided. So here we go. I think maybe I'll just rattle them off. And if I feel it needs an explanation, I'll give it one. But otherwise, I'm just going to rattle it off. So I want to achieve financial independence / get my net worth to $1 million, right? Later down on the list, I'm going to talk about another goal that I have, which involves the books I plan on reading this year. And so I am reading one book for the month of January that's already kind of got me oh, okay, I needed this. I needed to read this book so that it can kind of set the tone for my year, right? A part of becoming financially independent, though, I would like to have 7 streams of income. Years ago, I heard that on average, every millionaire has 7 streams of passive income. And I, in my mind, have been trying to carve what my 7 streams of income could be for a while. And I just kind of was not fully committed to the idea yet. But now I am, because I truly do want financial independence, not only for myself, but for the people connected to me. Like my daughter, who's obviously I'm responsible for, and now I'm responsible for, partly for my mom with, the combination of my siblings. So financial independence, that's number one. And then the 7 streams of income is going to be the how I get to the financial independence. I want to submit my law school application September 1st, and adding on to that goal a little bit, kind of fine-tuning that goal a little bit. There's one school that I would like to submit to as early decision that I only just recently thought. I was why am I just do early decision with that school, because like I want to go to that school. I know I want to go to that school. And in the years past when I've applied to law school, I've not been so sure about doing early decision. But now I feel confident. Like I guess because I'm older and I'm just like, hey, there's no more time to be playing around. Or, there will be, but like I don't feel like there is time right now to be playing around. So I might as well declare what I want and be very clear about it, right? So that is in the later part of the year. And luckily for me, the applications that I plan on doing or finishing, or the applications I plan on submitting, are basically done, with the exception of like whatever changes they might make over the year of the application. Or I would like to apply for and receive grants for my business and my books that I'm working on right now. I'm working on a children's book, and I guess that leads me to my next goal. I would like to publish my children's book. I have been like doing a lot of research about like what I need to do to put the book out there. Specifically, if I was going to go to a publisher or if I'm going to self-publish. Right now, I'm on the track of self-publishing. I did connect with someone recently, ironically enough, that is in contact with publishers, and like they might be able to help me get something situated. But I think because I just really decided this is something I really want to do, like not only just the writing, but take this very unconventional path with my life, I've found that a lot of things have been kind of coming to help me on the way, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. Next one is to move to California. I have a move date here that I'm not gonna say on the video, but it's time. I'm ready to get up out of here. I know it's not necessarily a goal, but it is kind of a goal for me. Like I've been wanting this for a very, very long time, and I'm putting it on my goal list so that I can check it off and say, yeah, I did that, I guess this next one, it goes back to the financial independence. There's another book that I read years ago. I know it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And I read it a few years ago with two other friends, and they basically talk about like taking 10% of every single dollar you make. So if you make $1, 10 cents goes into an account or savings account or wherever like you keep your money, and you take that 10% and then you invest it into something the following year. So in achieving financial independence, I would like to utilize that method, but I also want to, there's a couple other methods that I come upon that I'm like, I want to use those as well, right? But that's a main one that like I've been like saying forever that I need and want to do that. These are less tangible, but something that I do feel inclined to mention. I would like to have my theme for this year to be balance, structure, discipline, and grounding, because discipline for obvious reasons. Like everything that I want to get done this year is going to require me to be very disciplined, and I am no stranger to discipline, but I need balance because, like I said, I'm very much a type A person, and in being type A, sometimes I get myself stuck in places because I'm like, well, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and then like I can't go forward or do X, Y, and Z because it's not what I wanted. And I don't know, it's a very helpful trait. Like I can't speak to anyone else's experience of being a type A personality, but it has helped me a lot in my life, and I'm very, very thankful that I have the wherewithal to stick to my guns. And as a parent, I've been able to teach my daughter, like, let your yeses be yes and let your no's be no. But I need balance, and I need to ground myself, because I feel sometimes I can be so like heady that I'm like not grounded at all. So that's what I'm looking for: balance, structure, discipline, and grounding. Build my social media presence, and I have like threshold numbers of what I'm looking for as far as like what I consider building and what I consider growth. And so now I'm going to be running 3 accounts: my own personal account, my business account on social media, and then my book account for my children's book, which I just started the other day. Well, I had the account, but I hadn't put anything on them. So yesterday I put something on all of them, and I need to get a system in place with that and making sure I'm very structured. I was watching this live yesterday on TikTok, and a creator I really, really like, actually, she's super funny. But she was just talking about how like she's like bulk creating, and I've heard this, like you gotta really pound the pavement when you're like posting. And it also requires engagement. So not only do you post, but you engage, right? So I have 3 accounts on TikTok that I'm going to be building, 1 account here on YouTube that I'm going to be building, and it seems I guess 3 or 4 accounts on Instagram. Instagram I'm less excited about because it's very like you have to be very polished. But I believe in myself. I really believe in myself. I want to learn Greek. So I've been doing Duolingo. I have written here, do Duolingo for 365 days. Today's the 16th, and I have, I think, a 10-day streak, so that means I've missed like 6 days. So I have to find some other parameter with that, but I do want to just continue to do Greek every day or as often as possible so that I can gain some familiarity with the language, and I'm quite enjoying it. Also because related but unrelated, I've been looking a lot into ancient Greek mythology and just ancient texts in general, not just Greek, but a lot of things do have reference to like Greek or Roman or Latin and things like that. It's been very helpful in understanding the text because I have like a baseline with the languages, right? I also would like to read 12 books this year, so 1 book a month. Now, I'm not limiting myself to 12 books. I love to jump around in a book, but the goal is really just to ensure that I finish 12 books because I'll read a book, and if it's like really, really good, I'm like, oof, I gotta put that down. I need to digest that. I need to unpack that. And that leaves me with a lot of unfinished books, which I'm trying not to do. I'm gonna do a separate video going through the 12 books that I want to focus on reading, and then I'm going to do like, obviously every month I'm gonna like do like a review on like what I learned from the book. Right now, my first book is the book right here. What does it say? A Teenager's Guide to Achieving Early Financial Independence, First to $1 Million, which is what gave me the idea of I want to get my net worth to $1 million, because they're like, you know, when you say first to $1 million, what is first? Like, what million benchmark are you trying to like find? 1 million followers, $1 million, $1 million net worth? And like, I want mine to be net worth because like, now I'm an adult and I am not a teenager, but I figured it probably wouldn't hurt me to read a book that's meant for teenagers. Get my mind more open to the concepts. Like, there's things that I know being an adult and things that I've already experienced, but like it doesn't hurt to learn it differently, right? That's one of the books that I'm going to be reading. So that's one part right there. And I'm going to do a separate video, like I said. Now the next thing is a bit of a heavier lift, but I'm committed to doing this thing. I'm working on a video memoir that I would like to release before I submit my applications to law school. The first release date is supposed to be in June, and it's gonna go one every week until my birthday in August. And then that leads me to my next goal, and then kind of ties into one of my other goals. I would like to go to Greece for my 33rd birthday. I don't know why. I think I had it on my goal list for years to go to Greece specifically for my 33rd birthday. Right? I want to get into the habit of traveling more often. I travel a lot, but I want to travel more. I want to see more places. This year, I want to go to Greece, but in the next few years, like when I really kind of get into the space of financial independence, I want to make it so that I can travel and I'm not spending money on like things. All right, so that was my list, my starter list for my 12-week year system. In my next video, I'm going to be going over which goals I have designated for each 12-week year of this year, 2026, as well as going through my Notion sheet and just breaking down what my process is going to be like. If you haven't already, I have another video up where I mentioned the books that I'm going to be reading this year. So if you want to go hop over there and get invested in that story, that'd be greatly appreciated on my end. But thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for watching my video, and I will talk to you all soon. All right, bye.